Hi, everybody. Sorry about that. We were having some technical difficulties. How's everybody doing today? I am here. Okay, are you ready to change your life in 2018? Because I am, and I know you are too. So let me just start off by telling you a few things about myself. I want to tell you that I grew up in a small town, and I landed up in a big city, and I was involved in various organizations, companies, and so I have a lot of life advice. Let me put a few disclosures out there. I am not a life coach or a therapist or anything like that. What I am is I'm a person who wants to share information with you about how to change your life, because I know we all get a little frustrated, and being it's the beginning of the year, I want to help you to improve your life. So over the next 45 minutes or less, we are going to start learning how to do that. Okay. So if you have any questions or anything like that, you can post them. I'll try to answer some of them. If not, I'll go back. Most importantly, what I want to tell you is that I don't endorse any of the companies that I'm going to mention. I'm not a paid spokesperson for them or anything else like that. So I just want to let you know in advance. Okay, so let's get started in changing your life. So first thing I want to mention is how to feed your family on a tight budget. And I'm starting with this first because I know it's like the beginning of the year. You spent money on all your groceries and everything like that, and you probably don't have a lot of money left, right? Some of you didn't have money to start with, but basically, you are on a tighter budget than you were before Christmas or Hanukkah or Kwanzaa or whatever you celebrate, right? So let me give you a few recipes to start with, okay? So the first thing I want to tell you about is something that I used to do with my son quite a bit, because I had money when I was a child, and I didn't have money, and I was really poor, not the kind of poor where you're living in a hut or anything, but the kind of poor where $10 went a long way. Okay, so first thing I tried to do was make meals that encompassed vegetables and starches and all of those things together. Okay, so one of the things that I used to do is I'd take a can of tuna. I would take some cream mushroom soup. I would take some peas or mixed vegetables or green beans or all of the above. Okay, I'd mix them all up. I would put some spices in there. Salt and pepper is fine if you don't have any spices. Garlic, onion, salt, um, and I would mix it all up, put it in the oven on about 350, and I'd leave it in there. And then I would put a like a layer of breadcrumbs if I had them, a layer of cheese if I had them, and it turns out really nice. You bake it for about 20 minutes, and it's a full meal. Another thing you might want to consider is that I'm going to hold this up to the screen right now. I think we all know. Hopefully, you all can see this. I think you all know. If you can't see it, I'm going to post it later. Just how many calories are in a box of mac and cheese, and this is from a box of mac and cheese. I'm not going to mention the company name. So basically, you have 250 calories there. Sure, it's great for filling yourself, but if you add vegetables to it, or say you make it with a pre-made salad, which is only about $3.99. You have a full healthy meal. You can make it with just butter or margarine if you don't have milk, because I know milk is expensive sometimes. So all of these things together can create a meal that's under $10. There are other things I like to do for healthy meals. You can buy carrots just for snacks. You can buy sweet potatoes. If you cut up a sweet potato and you put it in the oven and you put a little salt on it, that's a nice healthy sweet snack for you if you have a craving for something sweet. So I'm telling you all this just so that you know that there's ways of living that don't involve sugary stuff like Coke, even though you like Coke. You can have apple juice with seltzer water or that kind of thing. And you can have all that for under $10. So I'm going to be posting that for you. If you have any questions about those recipes, you let me know. So let's move on, okay? So the next thing I want to talk about is how you can save money, okay? Everybody wants to save money, and I think that's particularly important, you know, when, I'm just looking at my notes right now, especially after the holidays and for the future, because maybe you want to have money after you finish all your shopping and all that, right? So there's a few applications. Again, I'm not a paid person for that, and I don't endorse these apps, but let me tell you a little bit about them, okay? So one of the things that I've used in the past is called Ibotta. Ibotta is an app that when you buy, now I think it's mostly in the United States for those of you who might be listening in Canada, okay? So it's one of those apps where you can take your receipts that you go to the grocery store with and scan them. And if that is the item that they're promoting at this time, then you can actually have money back from these items. So in other words, they'll pay you 20 cents or 25 cents. And all you gotta do is come home, scan the receipt, and bam, you've got some extra money. And I believe they'll pay you in cash or a gift card, whatever you want. Okay? But you get paid from that. So it's free, you download it. If you invite other people, then other people can benefit from that too, and you get a little extra money, right? Next thing I want to tell you about is Acorn. Now, I don't know a tremendous amount about Acorn, but, and we'll get into that a little bit later, but it's a way of saving online, okay? So putting, you know, little bits of money away, $5, $10, okay? Same thing with Stash. Stash is one of those apps where you can just put a little bit away and you can invest, but we'll talk about that a little bit later. Ebates, everybody knows about Ebates, right? You go on Ebates, you buy something from one of your favorite places, and they give you cash back. And they send you a quarterly check for whatever. And I guess they get paid by other companies to do that, right? So, and there's Coupon.com. And I love Coupon.com. I use it quite a bit. Print out coupons on any product basically that you need. This really helps when you want to buy diapers or anything like that. Coupons.com is fantastic. And I'm going to list all of these for you later, right? So, BookBub is the latest craze now. You can get free books there, and you can learn how to get free books or get books at a cheaper price, okay? Pennyhoarder.com is a fantastic place to go. Just learn anything, okay? Anything at all. It's really, really good. So I think you all will enjoy that. Okay, so if there's any questions or anything that you want to bring forth at this time, I'll be happy to answer them. Okay, so let's move on, okay? So now, you know, after you've saved some money by using all these apps and things, you'll want to learn how to spend your money. One thing that people don't know is that their credit rating really affects their entire life. They are sort of bound by it. It's, you know, it's the be all, the end all in the credit world and in your life, right? You screw it up, you got problems. And, you know, I'm not going to lie to you and tell you I haven't screwed it up in the past myself, okay? But what I did learn is from the banker that you go back and you go on Credit Karma or you go on freecredit.com. Either one of those sites, you can check your credit without paying for it. And they can help you actually to get back online, okay? I know that there's a few other sites too that can actually help you budget, right? And I know people have gotten, you know, their lives back together after that. So if you think it's impossible for you to not get your life back in order, then that's not true. You go on these sites, you go through your credit report, you see something that maybe isn't there, then you'll want to fix it, okay? You definitely want to fix it. And that's how it works, all right? That is creditkarma.com, okay? You know, being in debt, if you claim bankruptcy, for example, your life is always going to be messed up. If you know, it's always going to be there. It's one of those things that doesn't drop off your credit report. And it's a shame that it doesn't drop off your credit report, you know. But if you could fix that too, I mean, all I'm trying to say to you is that nothing is impossible to fix if you want to put in the time and fix it. Your life could be a whole different picture, a whole different world. Hi, Colleen. Okay, so I want to tell you that it's not impossible to change your life there, okay? It's not impossible to get out of debt. It's not impossible to change the way you spend and the way you budget and everything. Even if you think you don't have enough to budget, then you can still budget and you can still get out of debt, okay? Which takes me into my next portion of this video, right? And this time that we're spending together, because that's why I'm here for you. Hi, Colleen again. So I want to talk to you about something called passive income. Now, I'm going to read this to you. I'm going to show it to you, first of all, if you can see it. I'm not sure if you can catch it all. But I took this from the freedictionary.com, and I'll be posting it later. But basically, passive income is from certain businesses in which you aren't an active participant. So this includes partnerships, limited partners, real estates that you don't own or you do own. It could be investing as a limited partner in something. But for most of us, what it means is that you are creating passive income by, maybe you have some books to sell, for example. So you go on Amazon.com or .ca and you put some old books on there and you just leave them there. And people are interested in them and they decide that they want to buy them. Etsy is another one. Etsy allows you to sell your artwork and photos and whatnot. Some people make a lot of money at Etsy. And so, excuse me, this is my coffee now. But basically, all of these types of income, like you could maybe sell for Avon or sell, they have their own website. And basically, you just let it go. If people want to go to it, they go to it. You can create a service that you can make. Now, all of these things could be found on pennyhoarder.com. Fantastic, fantastic site. And that's pennyhoarder, all one word.com. And it tells you how to make money with practically doing nothing. You could watch videos, for example, and make money. You could watch, be a Nielsen panelist and make money. All of these things you can do. If you need help, that's where I come in. I can help you. I can refer you to places to go where you can get help and get grants and stuff like that to help you to make your dreams come true, which is all about changing life in 2018, right? So I think that if you try these things, you'll be better off financially. You'll be able to save a little bit, whatever you make from that. You can put into a stash account, for example. You can have a little savings, because most of us live from paycheck to paycheck, right? We don't have savings. And in this case, we need some savings because you never know what's around the corner. You know, some people say, well, I can't save because I got this, I got that. Everybody can save, even if it's a quarter every day, okay? So you can do it, all right? Moving on, I say this, okay? So happiness depends on you. Your happiness depends on you. You are responsible for your own happiness, okay? Happiness doesn't come from owning a large house or a fancy car or any of those things, okay? Happiness comes from you, from within, okay? And you can be happy without having all those things, because they're things, they're not value of life, okay? So if you think, oh, you know, I'm beat up, I'm sick, I'm depressed, I'm this, I'm that, you have it within you to change that. Only you, okay? You're responsible. For example, I used to smoke, which you probably won't call. But I smoked about 20 years ago, okay? I wanted to learn how I could stop because I got pregnant with my son, right? So I took a look at Tony Robbins. Now, Tony Robbins is fantastic, okay? He's a great guy. And he's not a guru. Maybe some people think he is, but he taught me a few really cool techniques. One of the techniques he told me was how to stop smoking. And I used this technique, and guess what? I stopped smoking. Did I have a craving? Sure, I had a craving for a couple of days. But every so often, as smoke went by me, I went, oh, that's so good, right? It happens, okay? That is part of being an addict, right? But what I did to get rid of it was not, I didn't use a patch. If you need to use a patch, use a patch. I used this exercise where I closed my eyes. So I closed my eyes and imagined a chalkboard. And on the chalkboard, I wrote smoker. And then I erased that. And I wrote non-smoker. And then I highlighted it like a neon sign 3 times. And then I kept doing it and doing it and doing it. And guess what? After a while, my brain thought that I wasn't smoking at all. I was not a smoker. And that's how it works, okay? It's just basically retraining your brain to make it think that it doesn't exist, okay? And that's how he did it. And now when I smell smoke, I pretty much don't like it. All right. So, and I was a heavy smoker, 2 packs a day. And I know a lot of you probably can't believe that, but it's true. And I just quit. Right. And I know that, you know, aside from a few other addictions that you might have, that can really help. Another one I want to share with you is how I deal with pain, because I'm a person who's in pain every day. Am I happy? Yes, I'm happy. Why am I happy? Because there's certain exercises that you can use in addition to drugs, and I'm not talking about oxycodone or anything like that, because you should try to get off of these things, okay? So what it was is, again, I closed my eyes. I pictured a slingshot with a bunch of rocks on the side. A bunch of rocks for my pain. And what I did was I picked up the rocks with the sling and I put them on the slingshot and I threw them away. I absolutely threw them away. And every single time I did that, part of pain would go away, and go away, because I used to have terrible migraines too. And it went away. Okay? So everything in life is possible if you are able to change. Okay? And change doesn't come easy. You have to change your paradigm. So what do I mean by that? You have to change the way that you think that you can change your life. Okay? It's so important because the minute you work, you value your body. Okay? Now, I don't want to get all religious on you, but I believe that your body is your temple of your soul. And you take care of your body, but you have to work together as one entity. Okay? So it's important that you take care of your body in order to be able to succeed and to be healthy. And that's what it's all about, being healthy, right? And if you're saying to yourself, "Oh, maybe I can't be healthy because I'm not a well person and all that," I'm going to tell you you're full of boo-boo, okay? Because anybody can do it. Certainly, if I can do it, anybody can do it, right? And it's to what degree you can do it, understood. Not everybody can. Not everybody tolerates pain the same way. Not everybody responds the same way. But if you try some things that are new, you can do it. I know you can because I have faith in you. Okay? So let's go talk about family for a minute. So, one of the things I said, recipes, more recipes. Like I said, I'm going to post it. But what I really want to talk to you about is health, family health. Because family health is so important. What do I mean? So I've been substitute teaching now for about 2 years. And I see 3 types of students. One, the student who is well fed and has a loving, happy family, okay? 2, the student who is not well fed and has a nice family, okay? 3 is the student who doesn't have enough food at all or no food, okay? And is not in a good family situation. So I see these 3 types of students. And academically, which one do you think actually succeeds? Okay? No, this person does not have a ADD or ADHD situation. They lack nutrition, and nutrition is very, very important, okay? And for healthy brains. And I see kids, I went to the grocery store just the other day, and I saw this mother and this child, and the child literally took some bread off the shelf and stomped on it. Right in the middle of the grocery store. And of course I gave my look, because I was shocked. And the mother did absolutely nothing. She didn't say a word to that kid. And so as a society, I think we've become afraid to do something about that. Now, there are good programs here in Nevada, for example, like 3 Square, okay? If you want to donate to something, that's a great program to donate to. You have all sorts of people who want to help to feed these kids. And this is a program that's in the school now that's not only helping feed the kids, but helping feed the family. That's really, really important. And it makes them do better at their academics. If you have 30 kids in the class and, half of them are not responding because they're just undernourished and their minds are not focused, it's probably because the food is not happening. So, spending at least, you're saying maybe, okay, I've got 2 jobs, I've got 3 jobs, I don't have time. Well, some people make time. They make that 1 hour in the day where they sit down for 1 meal a day with their family, put the phones away, and they talk. They really just talk. It's something that people don't usually do anymore. And I think it's really important to communicate, because when you do, you find out a lot about your child and what their life is like. Instead of being on the phone, maybe you want to learn more about what makes them tick. Okay, so I know some of you weren't here for the whole thing, and I want you to know that I'll be doing other webinars. I want to make sure that I get my message out there, because it's so important for me to tell you these things and to help you, because that's what I like to do. So thank you very much for attending my webinar. If you print out the guide that I attached, you'll be able to make notes and on what was said. You can go back and watch this video, and you can stop it and pause it, whatever you like. Now, if you want to sign up for emails from me, for example, you could just send an email to Mrs. Knapp 723@gmail.com, and then you type in the subject line subscribe, and I'm going to know that you want to hear from me. Okay? If you want to contact me for speaking engagements, for example, you could do that as well. I do charge for business advice at this time, and some speaking engagements I will charge for that as well. But there are other things that I don't. A few questions here or there aren't going to hurt me. Don't forget to like our Facebook page at Advice Dear Mrs. Knapp, and don't forget our other pages. We have other pages that I don't actually sync both pages at the same time. So we do Twitter at Dear Mrs. Knapp. You got Instagram at Dear Mrs. Knapp. I have a blog that you can also subscribe to, and it's www.therealmrsknapp.com. And we're just beginning the YouTube page. So if you look up Dear Mrs. Knapp on YouTube, you'll also find, eventually you will find an actual show there with interviews. So I wish you all love and light, and I appreciate you joining me today. And I hope that your year turns out to be the best year yet. So make a change in 2018. Talk to you all real soon.